Hi guys, how you doing? It is Victoria Player here of victoriaplayer.com, helping women entrepreneurs to combine their passion and purpose, confidently step into their spotlight and create a unique, rewarding and thriving business doing what they love. And today I am showing a vlog in answer to a super cool question which was sent in to me from Sheila, and she writes, I have a client that is not paying on time or as promised and late. She cancels at short notice and constantly texts me for answers to her questions. She's on a monthly program with no contract at the moment, and I'm charging her £97 for 4 hours in-person coaching a month. How would you handle this situation? So first of all, I want to say thank you, Sheila, for sending that in, because it's definitely something that used to happen to me back in the day, and I'm sure it's something that either is happening, has happened, or will happen to many of you going forward. So I think there's two parts to this. The first piece is a wealth consciousness piece, and the second is about business boundaries. So in terms of the wealth consciousness piece, £97 for 4 hours of private in-person coaching is totally over-delivering and undervaluing your services. So if you're having this challenge with a client, there is no wonder, because what you put out into the world is exactly what you will receive in return energetically. So what I would recommend with this is to first off start working on your wealth consciousness every single day. Read books like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Another one of my favorites are the Abraham Hicks books. This is an ongoing daily practice. First thing in the morning, get into those books and watch your wealth consciousness rise. The next step is to raise your rates, quite simply. So, you know, charge something that is a stretch for you, but that is not so much that you will actually sabotage your own success. And then I would go back to this client and arrange to have a conversation with her, explain that you've raised your rates, and then move her up to that. You know, tell her when what date the rates are going to increase, and then move her up to that fee. The other piece with this is around setting very firm, energetic and business boundaries. So one of the beginning points of that, especially if you're new in business, is to get clear on what those boundaries are. One of the reasons why this is happening for a lot of people is that they're not really clear on their own boundaries, so people then overstep them. So I would take some time out and sit down and write out what your ideal client is like. You know, what are those boundaries? Does your ideal client pay on time, respect you, and, you know, not be someone who's going to be ringing you in the middle of the night for a bit of extra on-the-spot coaching? You know, there's a time and place for all of these things, and a £97 package is definitely not one of them. So what is that for you? What are the do's and don'ts? What are your personal and business boundaries? And it's a good idea to do this for your personal life too, because as solo entrepreneurs, what we experience in our business often bleeds over into our personal life. So that's the starting point, and you will find that when you are clear on this, you just energetically not attracting those types of people to you. The second part to the business boundaries piece is to be very clear to stipulate what your boundaries and guidelines are in terms of each of your packages and programs. So an example of that would be, you know, in my business, everything is very systematized. So as soon as a client comes into my world, they're taken through a system, and as part of that system, they receive a document, whether it's digital or written, you know, physical document that actually outlines what the guidelines of that specific program are. And this is very important, especially in terms of working, you know, if you're working in a group coaching program, because you are responsible of holding the dynamic for the entire group, and nothing will piss your clients off more than for you to not manage each individual within the group. So, you know, as an example, I'm just enrolling people into a brand new program now, my Footloose and Fancy Free Business School and Sisterhood. And one of the first things that those clients receive are guidelines of what my expectations are, because it's a two-way thing. You can't expect your clients to be mind readers and just to automatically know what your boundaries are. So put them down. So an example would be things like turning up for calls on time, contributing to the community, making yourself available to support other members in the group, you know, assuming it's a group dynamic. So what are those for you? And just send those out as a matter of course, and that gives people something to work with. And then the final and most important piece of this is to make sure every new client receives some kind of a contract or agreement. This is something that can really save you at times. One thing you will find is that as you increase your rates, obviously, you know, people are paying more, and people can get very funny when it comes to money and that type of thing. So if you have got your contract in place, there is no confusion about what's acceptable and what isn't. And also, I think for women, the reason why this is so important is because we can become very emotionally engaged in, you know, any challenges that might be coming up in our business. So when it comes to this type of thing, if it's all written down in black and white, it means you can step back a little bit and not get so emotionally involved. It's all there, it's all dealt with, and, you know, they've signed and agreed to whatever terms you've laid out before commencement of service with you. And just going back to the wealth consciousness piece, one of the things you will find is that as you raise your rates in your business, the clients get easier. It's ironic. You would think that, you know, the more people invest, the more you've got to provide. And actually, that's not the case. I have found that the clients that I served in the past were much harder work at the lower level than any of my high-end clients. You know, it's not to say that sometimes clients don't have a situation that comes up, but they are always very willing and keen to rectify anything that takes place. So there's another incentive for raising your rates and really increasing your wealth consciousness. So I think really, Sheila, this starts with being clear in your own mind what your boundaries are and actually having them written down so that you know where you're at, and then approaching this client, arrange a conversation with her and reset, you know, state those boundaries and, you know, your new pricing structure. Ask her to agree to a contract of some shape or description, and if she can't work to those terms, then she's not the client for you. Perhaps you just want to find another, you know, if there's other coaches who do similar things to you, then, you know, very gracefully back out and say, well, in that case, I'm afraid this isn't going to be a good fit any longer. Here's, you know, perhaps I can refer you to somebody else that can help you. So I hope that has been beneficial to everyone. What I would really love to know now are situations that you've experienced and how you handle those. So obviously this is a short video and there's a lot more I could go into, but I would love to hear what you have done in these situations. How have you handled it, and what tips could you share with everybody watching this video to help them manage potential situations like this? So thank you for listening in, everybody. I look forward to seeing you same time, same place next week. Take care. Have a fab week. Bye for now.